Still with that Gawu conference, let's tell you now that the General Secretary of the International Union of Food, Agricultural, Hotel, Restaurant, Catering, Tobacco and Allied Workers Associations, Sue Longley, has flagged the increasing use of contract workers in Guyana, even as she lobbied those in the budding oil and gas sector to become unionized. Longley, who was the first female General Secretary of the IUF, was among the guest speakers at today's opening of the Gawu 22nd Delegates Conference at the Otachang Convention Center. She said the international union body has received complaints about the excessive use of contract workers here in Guyana.
Globally, I think we have to be very honest about this. We are seeing a pushback on workers' rights. Sometimes it's direct repression. Sometimes it's more subtle, and I've heard in the past couple of days here in Guyana about the impact of increasing use of contract labor, short-term precarious contracts, and how these undermine us as trade unions, how they make it harder for us to recruit and to organize workers into unions.
And Longley also made that case for workers operating in the oil and gas sector to get unionized. She said as Guyana continues to experience unprecedented economic growth, questions remain as to when the benefits will be filtered down to Guyanese workers.
For us as trade unions, the best way to ensure this is through workers being organized into unions who bargain fair wages and conditions. So we welcome the government's commitments to the trade union movement, and we welcome, Mr. President, your presence here today. However, as the Global Union for Workers in Hospitality, we are particularly concerned that these new jobs that are being created at this very minute will be good jobs, union jobs, and jobs for the future.
The international union official also said the international union body will work with its affiliates in Guyana to ensure that the new oil wealth is equitably distributed and that traditional sectors like agriculture are protected. It was noted the IUF will work with Gawu also to defend the rights of the working class across sectors. And alluding to the theme for the 22nd Delegates Congress, advancing workers' rights, economic progress, and social justice, Ms. Longley said if unions do not have a strong presence in the labor ministry, it would be unable to effectively defend workers and advance their rights. Meanwhile, the president of the Federation of Independent Trade Unions of Guyana, Carville Duncan, in his deliberations spoke of the work of Gawu in cultivating new leaders within the union.
Gawu believed that in order for the trade union movement to transform itself, to face the challenges that are forthcoming, that education becomes a pivotal factor in everything we do. And how we can achieve that is that we have to ensure that we prepare the young leaders to take over and to carry on the struggle.
And Gawu's President Sipon Narain in his address said since the change in administration in August of 2020, workers in Guyana, particularly those in the sugar industry, have been treated equally and fairly. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa and former President Donald Ramotar were among the other officials present.